I swear that Bungie games, as covering them as stories since my channel has been a thing, turn into like STDs of this channel because it's a never-ending cycle of me talking about these guys and talking about their company that they fumble all the time. And it looks like PlayStation might be taking over Bungie, and IGN reports Sony forcing Bungie to get their heads out of their asses and run Destiny 2 like a business is a very much a good thing, Studio X lawyer says. A former Bungie lawyer has commented on the upcoming improvements on embedded live service loot shooter Destiny 2, saying the role of the parent company Sony in forcing through these changes is very much a good thing. Last week, Bungie unveiled what is called major changes to Destiny 2 that it hopes will win back players. Bungie has reported struggling to meet key financial targets with Destiny 2, significantly underperforming last year. The Final Shape expansion reportedly sold less at launch than last year's critically planned Lightfall. So we heard some rumors that Bungie was more than likely going to be taken over by PlayStation because it wasn't meeting kind of key stats to what they were kind of promising PlayStation that they would meet on the purchase of Bungie. And with those rumors came around that Sony had implemented a plan because they knew Bungie's track record of kind of over-delivering, not over-delivering, but under-delivering and overselling what they could do. They've done it with Microsoft, they've done it with Activision Blizzard, and they were going to try to do the same thing with PlayStation. But PlayStation did put in some measures and kind of made it to where, yes, Herman Hulst, the PlayStation co-CEO, was put on a board seat, and also if they under-delivered on any of their promises and didn't hit some key financial things that they promised PlayStation, then PlayStation was able to put their own board in. And it looks like this is going to happen because Destiny and Bungie are implementing changes that PlayStation is telling them to do. Destiny 2 will now adopt a new model that includes the release of 2 medium-sized expansions and 4 major free content updates annually. The evolution aims to enhance the player experience through a new multi-year saga, introducing a non-linear story, more systemic innovation, and significant improvements to core game activities and rewards, Bungie said. One of the problems with Destiny 2 that Bungie has now identified is that it's nigh on impenetrable to newcomers. Speaking to blog post, game director Tyson Green admitted, Destiny's too complex. With literally hundreds of activities, you practically need a PhD to decide what to play and how to get rewards you're looking for. Green added, before revealing plans to modernize Destiny 2's user interface to make things easier for everyone to find and launch into a great activities. Don McGuan, the former general counsel at Bungie, reacted to Kotaku article rounding up the Destiny 2 changes, saying he was pleased Sony's apparent influence here, which he said means the studio is finally running the game like a business. Much though it pains me to say this, it appears Sony's inflicting some discipline on my former colleagues may have forced them to fix the things that were wrong with the game, McGarwin said. To be clear, I'm not talking about the layoffs, I'm talking about forcing them to get their heads out of their asses and focus on things like implementing a method for new player acquisition, not just doing fan service for the fans in Bungie C-suite, and running the game like a business. Good. I still have friends in that environment, and I'd like them to keep their jobs. This is the future I thought the company should embrace after the Sony acquisition. A studio, not an independent company, but there were a lot of egos from whom it's important to pretend that nothing would change. I remember sitting there during the deal saying, do you think Sony describes this as them getting to pay $3.6 billion for the right to have no input on what Bungie does? That was exactly what a lot of people thought. I guess they've been given cause to understand that that's not how things work. The changes described in this article are the things you do to run a franchise, not to keep making the game you and your friends have mastered or to chase trends. IGN has asked Sony for comment. So it looks like more than likely PlayStation has taken over and more than likely is telling Bungie what to do when it comes to these situations. And to be honest with you, it's about damn time that PlayStation does this because of the fact that Bungie has needed structure for the longest time. And the CEO is really kind of a piece of garbage that has done so many horrible things to Bungie. And I really hope that PlayStation takes the things that they've been doing great for the longest time. And I think PlayStation is starting to realize this, and I think Sony is starting to realize this as well. PlayStation already has the blueprint. They know how to make great games. Whether it be offline or online, they still have the structure of what a company has to do in order to please its base. And PlayStation coming in and Sony coming in and showing them how to run this business that Bungie already knows how to do. Bungie has known how to make great games for a while. They've made all the Halo games for the most part, and they made Destiny 1, and they made some good things with Destiny 2. They know what they're doing. They just need to know. They just needed some structure, and PlayStation was more than willing to do so, especially when they paid $3.6 billion to not only buy Bungie, but to retain the talent that was at Bungie. And the first thing that Bungie did was lay off people because they didn't hit the exact goals that they wanted, that they promised PlayStation and Sony. I really hope that this is a good thing for Bungie, and I think in my gut, it tells me that it is. Like I said, PlayStation knows what it's doing. They've been running their business for the longest time. PlayStation is a company that has sold 500 million consoles worldwide from each one of their consoles. The PlayStation 2 selling 200 million consoles, the best console sales ever that's not a handheld. And also PlayStation did really well with the PlayStation 4. It's doing really well with the PlayStation 5. They know what they're doing when it comes to business, and I hope that Bungie takes these changes and actually tries to implement them and wins back their player base. And not only that, but makes an area to where it's safe for new players to come in and play and not have to fix your matchmaking system, Bungie, for God's sakes, please. And I hope that they do that, because attracting new players brings new people in that can spend money to make your business grow even further. And yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you think that this is a good thing for Bungie? Do you think this is a bad thing for Bungie? I think this is an amazing thing. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And remember, you're pretty good.